Okay, so if you sub the second equation into the first one, you will get this. Okay, rearrange such that all your x's and x squares and constants are on one side. Okay, so this is your quadratic equation, the new one that you have just formed. And then now you look at the question and see what they want you to do with it. They want you to find the coordinates of the points of intersection. So no discriminant involved, they just want you to solve, like your normal simultaneous. Okay, but before that, they tell you that k is 6. So put in the k as 6 first before you can proceed with the question. So put in your k as 6. And then you end off with a very nice quadratic. Okay, so if you factorize it, this is what you get. So x is 4 or x is negative 2. So from there, go and find your corresponding y. So 12 minus 4 times 2. So y is just 4. And then the other one, 12 minus negative 2 times negative 2. So that is a 16. So the two, yes. So the two coordinates that you will get would be 4, 4 and negative 2, 16. So you have to write it in coordinate form because question wants the coordinates. So this is just a normal simultaneous equation and they give you the value of k. So you just sub in accordingly. Okay, all these are O-level question. If you see the year, paper number, question number, it tells you which year it appears, in which paper, what question is that. One biggest already leh. Okay, wait, the bottom. Not intercept. Intercept is the 2 points where it cuts the x or the y axis. This one is intercept. Okay, but intersect means it cuts. So please spell the correct thing when you are writing your answers. When I was marking your WA paper, you all spell it differently. So use the correct spelling. Okay, it says it intersect at 2 different points. So find the coordinates of these 2 points. So same thing. First equation, rearrange it to be this. Second equation, use the same form as what they have written there. So x squared minus xy plus y squared equals 63. So sub the linear one into the non-linear. So when you see y, you change it to 2x plus 12. Okay, it's not every question you see must have discriminant somewhere. You can just deal with it like a normal quadratic. Okay, so you simplify. We are just looking out for the point. So these are all the x squared term. So 5 minus 2. So 3x squared. Yes. Can. Okay, and then all the x's, group them together. So you have a 36x. And then the last one is all the constant term. So 37 plus 41, what is it? 81. Okay, so from there, I think you can divide by 3 throughout so that your numbers are smaller. But if you don't want, it's also fine. Okay, and then you can start solving it. I think it's a 9 and a 3. So 2 answers. One is minus 9. The other one is negative 3. Okay, look at the question. They say find the coordinates of these 2 points. Same thing, you will sub into 1 to find the corresponding y. So 2, negative 18, negative 6. Okay, then the other one, negative 6, positive 6. Yes. 9. Is there an error somewhere? Three, 12, 27. Correct, right? Yeah. Okay, so they want coordinates. Please make sure your final answer, you give me coordinate. This one or this one. Okay, write your answer in coordinates form. So leave the answer like this. After 9 is the next question, 9. Still copying? Okay, sorry. 3. Okay, this one. Okay, I want to find the set of values for which the curve lies completely above the x-axis. So we all know that a curve can only lie above the x-axis if it is a minimum curve. Sorry? That means, did we do wrongly yesterday? Oops. Okay, completely below, my bad. If it's below means it must be like this. So it must be a maximum curve, which means the coefficient of x squared must be negative. So if you look at your graph, this must be less than 0. So this is the first part you know. Okay, second part, you know that if it lies completely below the x-axis, it basically has no real roots. So with that, we will go and find what is your A, what is your B, and what is your C. So B squared minus 4AC, okay, is less than 0. So go and do your normal simplification. And then you end up having a quadratic. So remember, so far we have always had a linear expression and then we solve. But when we reach a quadratic, now I want you to drop the fact about everything you know about the discriminant. We have already sorted that out. Discriminant is less than 0. So once we hit the quadratic inequality, we will want to start to solve it by looking at it as a quadratic inequality. So fresh new page. Now we look at this shape. Okay, I will want to simplify it first. So you divide by 4 throughout. Okay, and then I think you will like it better if it is arranged properly. Okay, so if you look at this quadratic expression, you will want to factorize it first before you can start to solve it, right? So first thing first, let's factorize it. Okay, probably like this, minus k plus 4 minus, yeah, correct. So these are the two factors that you get. And then next is we want to shape or sketch the shape out. So what kind of curve is this? What kind of curve is this? Maximum, right? So what we do in the first step is always sketch out and then mark out your two intercept. So one is -1, the other one is 4. So how you got that is if you go and solve this, you get k is 4. You go and solve this, you get k as -1. So these are your two x-intercepts, and then your question wants you to find the part of the curve that is below the 0 line, which is this 2. So it happens to be the tail. So the two solutions from your tail is all the k that is less than -1 and all the k that is greater than 4. So these are the two sets of solution that you get. But remember, just now you had one answer here and 2 from here. You need to make sure they fulfill all. So put these 3 on the number line. So your -1, your 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So greater than 4, less than 0, less than -1. So you only have one final part of the solution, which is k less than -1. Okay, so this is the final answer. So I just want to bring across the point that from this point onwards is solving quadratic inequality. You only care about the inequality. So this one tells you the shape. You will sketch it out. Right? Second, you will go and factorize and find intercepts. Okay, once you get that, you want to know whether it is above or below the line. So number 3, you want to know where is your solution set. Whether it's the bowl or whether it's the two tail. Okay? So this is basically a full question you can see for chapter 2. They will mix nature of roots, which is your discriminant, okay, with the quadratic inequality solving. So this is the nature of roots part. So this is how you will see a full question, and it's 6 marks. Okay, so take some time to note this down. So if you ask me, this is the type of question you're expecting for exams, the full kind of exam question you will see. Yeah, it will be like this. Okay, don't worry, we'll do more until you get used to it. Can I have some absentee, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 28. So Amishi and Rishan only. I have 30, huh? Or 31. Or 31 is my sec 2. Okay, ready? What happened to them? Yesterday got counselor stuff. Rishan, you don't know. Okay, can I move on? Okay, let's look. Can Okay, let's look at question 9. Okay. Where did my question go? Okay. Okay, so this is question 9. It says express this in this form. So straight away, you know it's completing the square. Raj, are you paying attention? Okay, so remember completing the square, the coefficient of x squared must always be 1. So take out the 2 first. I will always leave the constant out of the picture, so that I don't have to factorize so many things. And then the 2 0 pairs that I add in here, I always add half this number square and then I subtract it off. Okay? And this 3 forms your completed square form. It is a perfect square, this 3. And then this one you need to go and calculate using your calculator. You will get 9/4. So don't forget that this whole thing is still within a square bracket. And then your constant term is still outside. So do it carefully so that you can get the 2 marks. So you expand it in this one, and then you add to 7. So final step, go and simplify. So everything you have learned, okay, in your completed square form in E-math is applicable in A. So what is this? This is 4.5. So 2.5. Okay, so once you are done, it doesn't matter whether the sign are different or are the same. You can just look at it. As long as it is the same form, is good enough. Just that you know that B takes a negative number here. A is your 2 and then C is your 2.5. Yes, can. So just take note that it is just the same form, but B takes a negative value. So this is your recap of your completing the square, your 1.1. Yes? What happened? Okay? Can Marius? Done? Okay, next one, part B. It says hence or otherwise, find the range of values of the constant K for which this equation does not have 2 distinct roots. I don't want this to have any solution at all. So what is the range of values of the constant K so that this will never cut it at all? Oh no, does not have 2 distinct roots, means can have 1 or nothing. How does this curve look like? First is minimum, and then the turning point, if we read, is at 1.5 and 2.5. So imagine your curve. The lowest point here is at 2.5. So now they are saying your curve, which is this one, I want it to equate it to a certain Y value such that it will only cut it at 1 point or no points at all. So what is your K value? What is the range of values of K that will ensure that you do not have 2 distinct roots? K must be what? K must be smaller than or equal to 0, 2.5 here. Okay, so you can mention that since this is a minimum curve with turning point this, okay, then you state that the lowest point is this one. You have to shift the equation and use discriminant. So if you want to do it a different way, alternative, you will approach it using the discriminant way. Yes.
Can you still use b square minus 4ac?
Can. So if you want to use b square minus 4ac, you rearrange the k over. You know that discriminant must be less than or equals to 0 because they say cannot have 2 distinct roots. So when they say this, it means you can have 2 equal and repeated or no real roots. So this is where it's equals to 0. This is where it's less than 0. So if you do this, then you do your b square minus 4ac less than or equals to 0. Then you go and solve it. Okay, so it's the same thing. This is part B. Is it B? No, part 2. Okay, you see what you prefer. Can ah? So the idea is this one. Raj, you wake up already no? You look like you are like dozing off. You copying anything? Sure ah? Okay, so every keyword they put there has a meaning behind it. So make sure you all know what they mean. Okay, last part. Let me bring it down. Yeah, I will scroll. Give me a bit of time ah. Let me, okay, my screen jammed there. This is 2024 question, so it's quite new. Okay, so first thing first. This is a completed square form. One look at this, you must know it's completed square form. Okay, one look at it, you know it's completed square form. And then they tell you the maximum value is 2. So remember, we can always read turning point from here. What is the turning point? It is what? How to make this thing 0? When x is q. So when this whole thing zeroes out, your y will be r. So indirectly it's telling you that for this maximum curve, they say it's maximum value, right? So it's a maximum curve. This is your maximum value 2. That's what the question tells you. And then they also tell you that they cut the x-axis at these 2 points. So these are your 2 x-intercepts. So x-intercept, how do you find line of symmetry? Remember or not? You add the 2 together, divide by 2. So add the 2x together, divide by 2. So x is 3. So q is 3. Okay, so once you have your q, once you have your r, you need to solve for your p. So you just pick any point you have there and sub into the equation and solve. So let's say I choose 2, 0. Okay, I'm going to sub it into the equation here, which I already know q is 3 and r is 2. So I sub y as 0 and I sub x as 2. So P is just -2. Done. Okay, alternatively, you can choose to sub in all the points you have there and then solve simultaneous 2 times. Okay, but that is tougher. So if you do it this way, it's easier for you to find the unknown. So you look, it's quite, they are quite generous to give you 4 marks for this. 1 mark. Okay, 1 mark, and then substituting in 1 mark, and then final answer 1 mark. So it's not difficult to do well for A Math, and it's also not difficult to fail A Math because each question has a lot of weightage. You nail it, you get the score you want. But if you miss out the whole question, then you lose a lot of marks. So you can do very well or very badly. So make sure you choose the do very well. Yes. Can. You sub in all the points and then solve simultaneous also can. Yeah. Just that longer lah. Yeah. Okay. So this is question 9, right? Yeah, 9. Okay, that's why it's important to keep doing O-level questions so you can see how it is done at O-levels. This one, actually the table. If not, no teacher complain will hit their head. Or no teacher sit down. Okay. Okay, let's look at next one. Are you all done? Okay. Okay. I have an equation of a curve. And then they say in the case where k is 5. So sub in 5 first. So let's sub in 5. So follow the instruction. They say sub in 5, you sub in 5. So this is your quadratic. And then they say show that this line is a tangent to this curve. So this is my curve. This is my line. They want you to show that it is a tangent. So there's two ways of doing. Create your new quadratic first. So you sub the line into the curve. So let's call this equation 1 and this equation 2. So sub 1. And then when the door closes, you say, if you don't like the path you walk, pay for another one. Later I show you the alternative method. Oh, it's somebody's. Is it? Oh, it's a class deco. Okay, so you sub in. And then you shift everything to one side. That's a 12. Okay, and then you make it easier so that it's easier to do. And then you realize that you can either choose the angle of finding discriminant, prove that it's equals to 0, or you can just solve it and show me there's one solution only. So up till this point, you have two ways to prove to me that it is a tangent. Tangent means only touches the graph at one point. Yes. So you can find discriminant for me, which is b squared minus 4ac. So get 0, right? So since d is 0, there are two real and equal roots. Therefore, line is a tangent to the curve. So this is one way. The other way is just solve it. So if you go and factorize it, you realize you get this. Or if you don't like this, you can write like this. And then you realize you have one solution only. So since there is only one point of intersection, your E-math. Okay, later I bring in the next one. But I thought you all are overwhelmed already. Or a test. Okay, can. Preparing a quiz for you. When will I see you for all single period, is it? Tomorrow you all have WA? Still have, then you still want to kill yourself tomorrow? Friday I see you all double period, right? Cause it's a odd week. Odd week, Wednesday. I don't see you. Yeah, I don't have. Okay, or I can do Wednesday and Thursday. I split in E-math and A-math. Wednesday there's 2 WA. Then Thursday single period. Just A-math, is it? Okay, just A-math. There's only So first thing first, I know my A must be less than 0. So A being your K is less than 0. This is from part 1. Second part, I go and find my discriminant, which is B square minus 4AC. And this thing here must be less than 0 as well. Okay, so what I do is I will want to make it as friendly as possible. So I divide by 4 throughout. Yeah, I miss out the K, right? Before Qi Wei finds the mistake, I must find first. Okay, so if I rearrange everything, this is the quadratic inequality that I need to solve. So remember, when you see quadratic inequality, forget about the discriminant now. Let's just look at this shape. Is this a maximum or minimum curve? Look at the coefficient here. Is this a maximum or minimum curve? Max or min? Minimum, because this is y, this is positive, so it's a Smiley curve. What's the 2x intercept if you were to solve this quadratic? If I were to solve this quadratic, I would have this, right? Okay, maybe to help you, I factorize first. Okay, so my 2x intercepts are negative 1 and 4. If I were to write it down. So I want the part of the curve that is greater than 0. So according to the graph I have, greater than 0 is the bow or the tail. This is the part that is above my 0 line. So I want my solution to be the tail. So all my x solutions here are all the k value less than minus 1. All my x solutions here are all the k greater than 4. Sorry? So again, first thing you decide is the shape, right? Which you know is a minimum curve. This is the step 1 when you are solving quadratic inequality. Step 2, you look at your x-intercept. Okay, look at your x-intercepts. Yes. Yeah, which is here already. Discriminant is less than 0. After you reach there, you forget about discriminant. Don't think about discriminant. Here is solving quadratic inequality. So now we ignore the discriminant already. We are solving quadratic inequality. We forget about discriminant and go through the 3 steps. So number 1, decide on the shape. So I know this is positive, means minimum curve. Second step, I go and locate my 2x intercepts, which are minus 1 and 4. Step 3, I look at whether I want above or below the curve. So in this case, I want my curve to be above 0, which is these 2 tails. Okay? So my solutions are here. My solutions come from these 3 values. I need to find my final overlap. So, you look at this. Ignore everything you know up there already. We are solving the question from here. So this is now my quadratic equation. Look at the coefficient of x squared is positive. So ignore the fact that at the top is maximum curve. Forget all about that. You need to separate them out. Now we are just looking at the quadratic inequality. Okay? So how to solve the very last part? You need your number line. So your 0, your negative 1, and your 4. Because this is 1.
No, like 1, but if we kept this as negative 1, it would be maximum.
Yes.
But then why do we change it to 1?
If you put it here, then it is negative. When you draw, right, you would have drawn a maximum curve. But this will ask you for the bottom part of the curve, which is also the tail. You will get the same answer. I'm just making it positive so that it's easier for me to factorize. But if you have taken it to be this, you draw a maximum curve, right? You want the part of the curve that is less than 0, which is still the tail. Yeah. Factorize minus 4 to where? Yes. So that means you factorize from here. You would also have a maximum curve. Okay. So my final answer, k being less than 0, k being less than minus 1, and k greater than 4, you will see that your final overlap is here. So your final solution is only this one, which is k less than minus 1. That's all. You need to combine the 3 to find final one solution. Okay? Okay, that's why I tell you, you must remember, when we are dealing with discriminant, it gives us this equation. Right? Discriminant less than 0 gives us this. But once we start to solve it, when you reach a quadratic equation at this point here, right? You want to solve the quadratic inequality, you need to start forgetting about discriminant already. Then deal with it like a quadratic inequality. Okay? I know, yes. Where did I get? From here. The 0 is from here. They tell us that it lies below. Right? Okay, so I explain one more time. Shh. I explain one more time. Is it lesson ended? Okay, I will continue the lesson from tomorrow from this example. But this is the only complication for this kind of question when they put everything together. Okay, but tomorrow one, I think we have two more, is it? Or 3 more? Okay, this one. Paper 1, question 1. Quadratic inequality. So sometimes AMF question looks like it's scary, but you understand what they are saying, actually it's not. It's like scary. Come on, you all play games, you remember so many things. Did I tell you all about the put the fries in the bag? Yeah. Oh, I told you already. Okay. No, the teachers went for a workshop, then they tell us some of the language that what kind of generation you are, Gen Z are using. Then the most shocking one to the teachers are put your fries in the bag. I'll put the fries in the bag, which means keep quiet. Then we were like, just say keep quiet. Why go through so much trouble just to say keep quiet? That's your. So in other words, people go. Okay, because of this, then now you go and solve. So 8k is minus 40, k is negative 5. Okay, so now that you know your k value, put it back into the quadratic that you have formed just now. So part B, you will sub the k value that you have found and put it into your quadratic. Let's call this equation 3. Yep. Why? Correct, Okay, so this is 2x squared minus 8x plus 8. So if I simplify, this is what I get. Okay, So once I'm done, in order to find the points of intersection, I need to solve this equation here. Which if you go and factorize or you use quadratic formula or whatever you can think of, you will end up having this. Quadratic formula, completing the square, factorization, all three methods can work. You choose the one you like. And then you will be able to solve for x being 2. So this is the x coordinate of the point P. This is the point P. And you have just solved that it is, the x value is 2. You need to go and find what's the y value. So sub the x equals to 2 into the linear equation. Don't sub into the quadratic because you'll end up having 2 solutions. So into equation 1. So your equation 1 is it the right place? No, equation 2, sorry. Okay, your equation 2 is this one, 2x plus k, so is this. This is your equation 2, huh? So plug the 2 in, you get minus 1. Correct, huh? So P is 2, minus 1. Done. Yep. Minus, my x is 2, right? Correct, right? Then my y is negative 1. So x followed by y. Did I calculate something wrongly? 8, 4, looks correct to me. Correct? Can ah? Okay, so you must look at the question properly. This happens to be a discriminant combined with simultaneous equation question. Yes. Yes, the whole page should be blank. So the difference for A Math and E Math paper is A Math don't have answer blank. That means they wouldn't put answer like this and then for you to write the answer there. You can write on the spaces provided, just underline your final answer or let us know that is your final answer. Okay, A Math give you a space, but they don't give you an answer line. The 10-year series. Or the solution, can. I will load it up today after I finish. Okay, if not my video will be like short cuts of everything. Okay? Done? Can ah? Okay, next. Wait let me, okay, never mind. Bright rings, 1 feet. Straight to the point. So this one, you see the question, you also scared, right? Because a lot of inequality there. But it says, I have this equation and 2 points lie on the equation. So let's say this is the curve. Because it's negative coefficient, so maximum curve. I have 1 point A. I have 1 point B. I just draw anyhow. It's just for you to visualize. And then they say the x coordinate of A is K. I don't know what's the Y. And then the x coordinate of B is 2K. I don't know what's the Y. So this is all that they told me. And then K must be between 0 to 7. That's all they say. Okay, next thing is find the range of values of K for which the Y coordinate of the B is greater than the Y coordinate of the A. So it's suggesting to me that I need to go and find my Y first. So first thing first, I will sub my point A. I don't know what's the Y, but I will sub this into my equation 1. Can. Okay, because this is my curve, it lies on the curve, right? So it must be a solution to it. So I'm going to sub my x inside to be k. So y is equal to 14k minus k squared. So that is my y value. My y coordinate of point A. Sorry, point A. Okay, I found it. Next one is I'm going to sub this into 1. So same thing, my x value now is 2k. I'm going to sub it into this equation. And I get 28k minus 4k squared. So this is my coordinate of B. So based on what they tell me here, this y for B is greater than this y of A. So this is what they tell me. So I just write it inside based on what the question is telling me. I just translate it into a statement. Okay, and then I bring everything to one side. I end up having this. So this is a quadratic inequality. First thing you do is go and determine the shape.
Minus 4 plus 1.
Plus 1 in your mind, okay? Okay? So once you have this, what you can do is you can factorize. And then this is just a maximum curve. Quadratic inequality, right? So you sketch out maximum curve. Your 2x intercept is 0 and 14 over 3. Okay, if you want, you can go and solve this. Equal to 0, so k is 0. And then 40 minus 3k is 0. So if you want, you can solve this. Okay, so based on this, I want the part of the curve that is above the x-axis, greater than 0. So is it the bow or the tail? The bow in this case. So your solution must lie between this and this. So this is 4 and 2/3. So they say find the range of values of k for which this is greater than this, right? So this is my solution, but it's good for you to always double check. Is this in this range? So in this case, yes, your k value is within the range of 0 to 7. So this is your solution. No need to find other solutions from here. This is the one that we want. Okay, so for this question, if you find the y coordinate is 1 mark, establishing the inequality is 1 mark, final answer 1 mark. So sometimes you don't know what the question is telling you, but just follow what they say and then see where it leads you to. Today is Tuesday, 2:10. Okay, I still got 9 minutes. One last question, right? Or 2 last question. Can or not? Why I hear like wailing sound? Who? Raven, you okay? You really drunk, right? What did you drink just now? Then what happened to you? Like I keep hearing like... Wait. So usually the source of noise from where? Now suddenly super quiet, right? SYFC. Okay. Chill. So next week, not next week, okay, after this Thursday we are going to have the quiz, right? We were saying the A-math. So tomorrow I think we can, because you haven't given me your A-math, tomorrow we can start indices first. You will like indices. Indices is a breeze.
We have so many formulas to memorize.
Yeah, but indices won't be tested for WA, but we are just learning first. It's just a lot of rules. It's just 9 rules. Chicken feet. Just 9 chicken feet. Yeah, turn one round to tell us what you want to tell us. Okay, last one. This one's simple. They say represent the solution set. Remember, it's the solution set on the number line. So first thing first, let's solve the inequality. Okay. solve the inequality first. Then you realize that what is staring at you is a quadratic equation. Okay, bring the 19x over. Everything bring to this side. So you get this. No. 11x. Okay, so once you reach this, what you can do is you treat it like a quadratic inequality that you need to solve. What is the shape? What is the shape of this quadratic equation? Minimum. So you sketch out. Then you go and solve this thing. Go and find the y-intercept. So even if it's not a nice number, don't worry. If it's a nice number, good. So what are the two x-intercept if you solve it? You can use calculator. This one we are not particular. Oh, minus 2.5 and? Minus 3. So actually, if you work backwards, you will get this one, right? No, cannot be negative one. Or both minus. So this one is also minus. Wait, I'm self-correcting my mistake and then you have to stop me. What is this? No, both plus. Very, very, very unforgiving class. Okay, so once you get the 2x intercept, go and put it down. This is negative 3. This is minus 2.5. I want the part of the curve that is greater or equals to 0. So Raj, is this bow or tail?
This is bow. Tail.
Luckily, you stick to your own decision. Never trust your friend.
Let's say the bow.
So I want the part of the curve that is above the line or equals to. So include this point. So all my x value must be less than or equals to 3. Or all my x value that is greater or equals to minus 2.5. But they say represent your solution set on the number line. So go and draw your number line. 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So 1 is here. The other one is here. Okay? So this is the solution set. Okay, put it on the number line. So other than having this, you need to show me this as well. Is that the last question? Okay, good.